We've gone through all the instructions one time. Expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions from the challenger? Any questions from the champion? Let's get it on.
But this might be something quite classical. Both of them obviously very respectful of the other's punch power.
It's interesting that McClellan has had very little boxing because he's been knocking all his guys out very, very early.
McClellan was the WBO champion but had to give that up. And Jackson getting through with his right over the top. It was the right hand that disposed of Harold Graham of Britain. 5th defense of the title this for Jackson.
By the quiet start, both men looking every now and again to try and find that big shot.
And straight away, that right hand from McClellan gets through, and that just rocked Jackson a little bit.
That definitely did. That definitely hurt Jackson. His legs definitely went for a second, and he's in trouble.
He certainly is. Right hands from McClellan. Jackson started quite a warm favourite here. And McClellan is letting the punches go already, but he can't afford to get careless himself.
No, Jackson is very dangerous.
McClellan's had 25 wins inside 3 rounds in his career out of 29, and I think he had to blink a little bit there as Jackson landed with his right hand.
That's the shot Jackson's looking for. He caught McClellan with a little left hook just before and followed up with a right hand. Didn't quite get it on, but it looks a dangerous shot. Another good right hand from McClellan.
McClellan so far has started very well. He's landed the more significant punches. Jackson being made to miss by a long way. And again, that right hand. Jackson had to eat that. I can't stress again, when he fought Harold Graham, it was 3.5 of the most one-sided rounds I've ever seen before Jackson produced the equalizer. He's capable of taking you out at any given moment with one punch, Julian Jackson.
He is. You can feel the atmosphere in this fight. Everybody is expecting a big shot to take somebody out.
McClellan rather telegraphing the right hand that time. Jackson certainly has a big edge in experience here. But how vital a factor that might be in an explosive, volatile meeting like this, I'm not sure. Well, it surprised a lot of people already. Then it's gone around.
It has, yeah, that's a bit longer than some people thought it would. But already we saw both men throw good shots. I think McClellan got the better of that round. He landed with a very good shot, which just seemed to disturb Jackson, seemed to hurt him. And he was very careful after that. But they're two very, very dangerous fighters.
Now then, let's have a look at these right hands of Gerald McClellan. That was the first of them. It buckled his knees, didn't it?
It did. He seemed to take some time to recover from that. But McClellan never managed to get the good shot on. You know, he did well there, Jackson. Covered himself, cool and composed.
McClellan, and there's the right hand again. But look at Jackson coming back with his left hook counter there. I'm pretty sure McClellan would have taken that first round on the scorecards, Glenn.
I think so. I think that big right hand would have done that.
Second round, due to go 12. Just to remind you, Julian Jackson in the white trunks here, McClellan in the Kronk gold.
Jackson's been told to try and get that jab working. Trying to keep McClellan off balance. What you have to try and do against the punch, you've got to stop him from setting his feet. When he sets his feet, he can get the power.
Slip that right hand, go over top, Julian. Overhand right. slip your punch, Julian.
Jackson was banned from Britain because of the surgery he needed for 2 detached retinas in both eyes. A lot of people say that he can hardly see. He wears very, very powerful glasses out of the ring. It is questionable whether he should still be fighting, but he keeps winning.
Yes, he still manages to see the chin, because he certainly lands the punches there when it counts.
More cool in this round, Jackson. Just settling down to box behind the jab, and that's posed McClellan 1 or 2 problems.
Yes, McClellan hasn't got any shots off. Jackson's doing the right thing. He's got to use that jab, keep McClellan unsettled, and that's what he's trying to do.
Oh, right hand, Jackson.
You got him, Julian.
And McClellan looking a bit open. The gloves dropped there. McClellan grateful to hold on. Jackson really landed cleanly with that one, and give McClellan credit, he's still on his feet. A lot of people might not have been.
That's right, it was a good right hand, but I don't think Jackson really got his full power behind it. But certainly McClellan respected that shot.
Move your head. Move your head.
Oh, left hook this time. And now McClellan again being forced to blink, and his legs just stiffened a bit as those landed. Jackson's taken control in round 2.
And I think it's all coming off that jab, because he's just beginning to get his range.
If you're hearing a lot of shouting and screaming coming through, Carl King, son of the promoter, is shouting behind me, and they're very much, of course, in the Jackson camp, and Jackson closing in again. And McClellan is feeling the weight of these punches. There's no doubt about it in this second round, and he's having some bad moments here now.
Over here, right, Julian, dip. Dip, dip, dip. Dip and throw.
McClellan is looking a bit the worse for wear. Big round for Jackson.
Good round for Jackson.
Third round, Jackson in white, McClellan gold, and the Kronk fighter from Detroit knowing some bad moments in round 2. Jackson's looking for that right over the top again. There's a much more assured, confident and controlled look about Julian Jackson now, after McClellan had a very good opening round. McClellan just needing to get a foothold back in the fight somehow. But does he have the out-and-out boxing skills to do that? Nearly every opponent he's had has been flat down on the canvas in front of him before not too long.
McClellan's trying to use his jab a little bit this round. He pretty much should have shot last round and allowed Jackson to get off first. For this round, he's starting to use his own jab. Good right hand.
Right again, the right again. Gerald McClellan, who won his WBO title in London at the Albert Hall, beating John Mugabe in a round. Is he going to fail in a world title fight in Vegas here? Doesn't look good for him at the moment, in all truth.
No, he's struggling again in this round. He's took a couple of good right hands there.
McClellan rather is looking ominously open at times.
He's looking quite tired as well. I think that'll be a point as this fight goes on that we might see.
Now, there's a timeout here. Not entirely certain what that was about. Certainly Jackson had quite a bit to say. I think one of the blows might have strayed a little bit low, and now Jackson's under fire. Is this another swing in the plot?
Relax, Julian. Move your head now. Move your head. Don't get it. You're all right. Move your
the last 30 seconds. McClellan just seems to have grown in confidence again, and that right hand was a good one.
Get your free right, Julian.
Yes, that was a strong shot from McClellan. He's come good in the last 30 seconds of this fight.
And Jackson, it's only a slip. And the bell goes, and I think Julian Jackson was quite pleased to hear it. Well, this is some fight, this is, isn't it?
It certainly is, one way then the other. But as you can see, one punch can turn the tide, and it does. You know, as soon as one man gets one good shot on, he gets the advantage in that round. It just swings the fight.
Well, McClellan is back on his feet early. He's raring to go for round 4. Jackson with a bit of cut damage by the eyes.
Yes, McClellan finished that round the better. He just got a little respite, then rushed down through a few good shots, and he's started this round on his jab.
Jackson's only lost once in 47 fights. That was to the excellent Mike McCallum back in 1986. So he's 7 years unbeaten, Julian Jackson. The eye damage might worry him a little bit, because I've been explaining to you the problems he's had with both eyes in the past with detached retinas. I think the blood is obscuring the vision just a little bit too.
Yes, that's the last thing he'll want. He has had a lot of problems with his eyes.
Body shot from McCallum was a little bit late there after Mills Lane had said break, and that's why he got the cautionary word.
Left jab, Julian. Left jab.
Well, this has been quite dramatic. Fluctuations in the mood. One fighter takes command, then suddenly the other lands with a big punch, and it swings again.
It's getting a little untidy in this round.
4th round. And McClellan looking to let the punches fly again.
Keep breaking that body out. Finish with the hook, champ.
Jackson keeps letting that right hand go, but hasn't landed cleanly with it.
Both of them look ominous, lethal with the right. Look at McClellan just looking to measure Julian Jackson for size with his left in the way that Larry Holmes used to do, and then crash through the right. This can't go 12 rounds, can it? Surely.
I wouldn't have thought so. I would think as they get tired, the punches will come in more so, and then we've got, you know, damage will happen.
Welcome back. Over in the Julian Jackson corner there, working on that right eye. You can barely see him there behind that towel, but that's what they're working at there. Action from round 4. McClellan's right hand, straight and short and flush.
Good right hand right down the face of Julian Jackson.
This is the 5th. Just to remind you, Julian Jackson from the Virgin Islands in the white trunks. His 5th defense of the WBC Middleweight Championship. McClellan, who's already held the rather dubious WBO version.
Punch in the inside, Julian.
Any minute now, Matt, you're grabbing too much. You're holding on. Come on, let's go. Come on.
Jackson has a lot more success when he uses his jab first. He every now and again tries to throw that right hand by itself, and it doesn't quite work. He doesn't get the range. I think if he used that jab and then let the right hand go, it would be a better shot.
Well, just occasionally they both lapse into a technical kind of fight, but it isn't very long before it becomes a battle of punch power again.
That's right. So a few seconds they start, teeing off the jabs, looking for openings, but then straight away you can see them planting the feet, looking for that big shot.
Oh, and there was a body shot in there. Now that was low. That was low from Julian Jackson, and the situation here is that McClellan will be given about as long as he wants to recover. The maximum is 5 minutes, but it is the rule these days that the protective equipment is good enough for a fighter to recover, given a good amount of time to do so. Low shot from Julian Jackson. It's a question of whether Mills Lane now makes a point deduction for that. I haven't seen him do that yet to the official. No, he didn't, rather surprisingly. Interesting. Should that have been a point deduction?
Big right hand from Jackson there, landed on McClellan. And McClellan's good shot.
Oh, he's got him with a left hook. Jackson, spread eagled half out of the ring. McClellan unleashes the power, and Julian Jackson, the big concussive hitter, is in trouble himself now. This could be the end of his reign. Right hand, he can't take more of that. He's down again. This is the second knockdown of the round. There is no 3 knockdown rule in operation here. He's all over the place. He cannot be allowed to continue, surely, and he is not. The title changes hands. Gerald McClellan is the new WBC middleweight champion. And in a battle of 2 absolutely volcanic punches, it was McClellan's power that told in the end. And immediately after, he'd taken the break for a low blow.
That's right. Finally, the big punch came. We knew it was going to happen sometime in this fight, and it was McClellan that got it on first, and Jackson was in terrible trouble.
Well, a lot of people did fancy that title to change hands, even though McClellan was odds against, and he's delivered. And how he delivered. It was always likely to end in something like that. They couldn't carry on soaking up punches of that explosive nature all night long. Something had to give, and in the end, it was Jackson.
That's right, and just coming off that low blow. So obviously he came out firing, caught Jackson with some very good shots, sending him backwards. Beautiful right hand, right on the button, and I think he gets him a left hook, and over he goes.
It was the right that did the damage, wasn't it? The left hook was almost for good measure.
Oh, he really got his whole body weight behind that right hand.
This is the first knockdown again, different angle.
I think he's out there. The left hook finishes the job.
Yeah, the only wonder was that he managed to get up from that. This is the second one.
Yeah, he did very well to get up
dear.
from that, but he was in trouble. Another good right hand.
Now that was the first knockdown again. I don't think really there is a middleweight alive who would have been on his feet after that. Tonight he will never forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time. 2 minutes, 9 seconds in round number 5. The referee in charge, Mills Lane, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, and the new WBC middleweight champion of the world, the G-Man, Gerald McClellan.
Well, the G-Man, it was almost G-force punch power, wasn't it?
Tremendous punch power. What a right hand. John, when that first right hand landed, he really dragged him from his boots.
Julian Jackson.
He gets a big ovation too. I'm glad to see Jackson appears to be okay again. Stand back when you've got that kind of power in the ring. Master blasters, both of them. And McClellan, the new WBC middleweight champion. And if the night goes on like this, we're going to be in for something special. Now, in a moment, I think we might be able to grab a word with the new champ. Freddie Pacheco talking to him in the ring. Gerald McClellan.
Look like you were weakened. Well, he weakened me with a whole bunch of shots. Julian's real strong. I tipped my hat to him. And I worked too hard, ran too many miles, made too many sacrifices. He had to kill me to keep that belt.
All right, Julian Jackson, you're experiencing what 43 guys experienced from you. Were you surprised that that right hand put you in so much trouble?
Yeah, I was surprised, you know. Gerald McClellan, you know, he showed a lot. I knew I had him, you know. By experience, I knew I had him, and he just caught me with a good punch.
Did the headbutt seem to take anything out of you? It looked like you stopped fighting there for a moment, and Gerald came right on.
Yeah, I got a good butt, you know, and it affected me, and it sort of messed with my eyes a bit.
Emmanuel Stewart, were you concerned at all when they took a point away from you? It was a very close fight.
No, I didn't know the fight wasn't going to limit. I knew that. I wasn't concerned about the point.
You weren't concerned about points at all. And let's take a look at replays as we stand here with Don Ging and Emmanuel Stewart and the two fighters. Let's take a look at the right hand shot to Julian so he can see. This is the first knockdown. There's the right hand. Now this one misses. Now the next is perfect, right there. Now I don't know how you got up from that, Julian.
Well, hey man, that's Jackson, and I'm made of steel, man.
Well, all right, this is the second one, and that right hand was all it needed.
Well, Julian punched very hard. I got a tremendous headache. I'm gonna go back to the room, maybe sleep 2 or 3 days. That was a good fight, Julian.
Hey, go for it.
Put him, man.
All right, two super athletes competing at the top level. It was an explosion, Don. This was one of the great middleweight fights I've seen in a long time.
It certainly was, Ferdy. This is what we promised the public, and this is what we give the public. Guaranteed customer satisfaction. And what Tony Cox and I are planning to do and continue to do is to bring the best in boxing to the viewing public.
One of the things that comes straight to my mind, I'd like to see these two guys go again. I didn't know who was winning that fight. Would these two guys go again?
Yes, they will. You know, I'm going to let the champion now has an optional fight, and then you're going to come right back at Julian and give him another opportunity, and that's where we're going from there. The greatest middleweight fight that could be made was made right here today on King Vision SCT.
Well, that certainly was.
Well, Don King there saying there could be a rematch between the two. I mean, battle of the biggest punches. I went for Jackson purely because he was a better boxer, but as we said, whoever landed the first decent blow would go. Lou Dooley, you first.
Well, I thought it was going to be that type of a fight where, you know, they weren't boxing out there. They were just throwing bombs out there, and it's just the guy that's going to get hit and the other guy who's going to get up, you know. And it wound up being just like I thought it would be, bombers away, you know. And just happened that he caught Jackson out of chin first.
Did you have any special information about that? Because it was a bit of a pick and fight. You went straight for the winner. Yeah. Best with gold, you are.
Oh, what a start for Frankfurt tonight.
1-0, Frank Maloney.
One up and a couple more to go.
Well, don't worry about the middle fight, as long as we get the last one.
He'll win the last one too.
Let's have a look at the finish, because these guys, I mean, is it natural punching power, Lou? You know, as one of the most respected trainers. I mean, what is it? How do they punch as hard as this?
Look, you know, every shot they're throwing what we call a home run. You know, they're not setting them up. The other thing is, I didn't see too much boxing on Jackson's part. I thought Jackson would box a little more, but I also saw that he didn't have really the speed and the combinations that he used to have before. He was a little backwards on the boxing end of it, and he also was throwing bombs. You don't throw bombs with another bomber. You box a bomber.
That's right. That's why I picked Jackson, because I knew he was a better boxer. That was the second knockdown. Now, you're fairly benevolent with your fighters. We know that. If you think they've had a bad loss or something, you sort of, that's it, guys. You know, what would you like to see from Jackson?
Well, I hope that you know, he's in a spot where he can get a retirement out of this here. You know, he may have another fight or two. You know, but I don't think he'll ever capture what he had before as champion. I mean, they talk about a return fight. You know, let King sign it. That's not true. You know, that's not going to be that true. You know, he's not truthful. Let me put it that way. You know, but Jackson has been a good champion, and as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I think that the other guy is going to be a good champion too. Yeah. But Jackson, I would hope that either he gets out or he gets another fight or two under his belt. He deserves it.
Yeah, he certainly does. Well, I'll tell you with that. That's 1 down, 3 to go, as they say. When they go for a break afterwards, it will be Chavez against Terence Ali.